They said she didn't belong in his world. That her fingers were rough, her hair too curled. That she spoke like thunder, laughed too free. That her world was dust, and his, royalty. They whispered behind silk-covered fans. How could a prince hold peasant hands? She doesn't bow, she doesn't blend. This kind of love was made to end. But love, oh love, doesn't read their books. It finds its truth in stolen looks. It doesn't care for crowns or fame. It only answers to the flame. She met him not as His Highness, crowned, but as a man who'd left the palace ground. He wasn't seeking someone to obey. He wanted a heart that wouldn't sway. She didn't kneel, didn't plead to stay. She simply loved him her own way. Not with rules, or court-approved grace, but with starlit silence and wild embrace. And he, the crowned, the son of the land, let go of the world just to hold her hand. He smiled at her when others frowned, for she was real, while they were bound. The world rolled its eyes, sharp with scorn. How dare love cross lines we've sworn? But he never looked for their consent. He knew exactly where his heart went. She didn't wear velvet stitched in gold, but every word from her soul was bold. She didn't know courtly dance or stance, but she led his heart in fearless dance. They called it reckless, a passing phase, a wild distraction from royal ways. But when the crowds had cleared, gone home, they were still there, building stone by stone. She stood with him through politics, game. When people tried to shame her name, she held his peace when the papers lied, and wiped his tears when he cried inside. For he, too, was human beneath the fame, with fragile truths and hidden shame. And she saw what others missed. Not the throne, but the soul she kissed. And no, they never asked for cheers. They just held tight through all the years. They made a world with their own hands. A quiet place, far from commands. And maybe she never fit in those gowns. Maybe she laughed too loud in towns. But he never wanted a porcelain bride. He wanted a woman with love inside. Someone who'd run with him through rain. Who knew the joy and knew the pain. Not perfect, but fearless and strong and true. Someone who said, I see you. The world still spoke, but they grew deaf. For love like theirs outlasts the rest. They didn't need approval stamps. Their bond was fire, their hearts were lamps. Years went by, and the voices slowed. People aged, and judgments erode. But there they stood, hand in hand. Proof that love doesn't need a brand. So if you ever fall for someone, wrong, whose story doesn't match your song, remember this tale, etched in stars above. You don't need permission to be in love.